Hurry up. You're taking way too long, Laura.
Don't rush me, Silas. I can do this without your help.
Hey, Marinette. What are you two scheming up, as usual?
Hey, Frederick. We're thinking of some pranks we can pull on those kids who live down the street from us.
Hey, great idea! How did your foamy brains ever think of that?
Obviously, because we're so much smarter than you.
No, you're not.
Ha! If you're so smart, why don't you come up with a brilliant idea yourself?
We should find something that really scares them and use that against them.
We should get the rest of our gang here to help us. Now that you mention it, I know for a fact that the girl, what's-her-face Lisa, is terrified of spiders.
I know of a great plan that will wreak havoc and tear them apart.
Hey guys, I know of a great plan that will be productive and bring us all together.
Come and get along, sing a happy song. Put your hands together, we'll be friends forever. Come and get along, play a little game. This is so much fun. The show has just begun. My best friend, my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Nick, Cedric, Lisa, Kiko, Simon, Gina. My best friend, my best friend.
Have you ever wondered how you could see something without really being there? And I'm not talking about a video recording. Well, if you ever happen to be underwater in a submarine and need to look at the surface, this device will certainly come in handy. It's called a periscope, and it's an instrument that uses the principles of physics to reflect the images in mirrors or prisms. It allows a person to be underwater and see what's happening above the surface. Now, you may be thinking this is complicated and expensive machinery. But if you watch carefully, you will see how you can build one in a very fun and simple way, and also learn a little bit more about physics. Just remember to ask for the help of an adult. Now, here is what you will need. You'll need tape, a utility knife, 2 pieces of mirror, and an empty carton of juice or milk. Draw 2 squares on opposing sides of the box like this. These will be the holes for the periscope. When using the utility knife, be sure to ask for the help of an adult. Now, when cutting the square, make sure to leave one side intact. This will be the placeholder for the mirror and will provide a 45-degree angle to make the periscope work. When using the mirrors, make sure to ask an adult to help tape the sides. That way you will not cut yourself. Grab the tape so that the mirror can be held in place inside of the periscope like this. When you're done with that, make sure to tape your other mirror on the opposing side of the box. After this project is done, you can go outside and play with your family and friends, or even pretend to be in a submarine. Now here's an interesting fact. Periscopes were used during wars to observe enemy movement over the top of trenches. By building your own periscope, now you can see the world from a different angle, 2 45-degree angles.
That's a great idea, Cedric. We could set up tents out in the backyard, so it's just like we're camping. That way we are close to our parents and can still experience the great outdoors.
I know. That's exactly what I said a few minutes ago, Gina. Thanks for the recap. As I was saying, we could also sit around the fire and tell stories and sing.
Lest we forget the infamous debacle from a few weeks ago.
Better safe than sorry, I guess.
What are we talking about again? The power outage?
Are you okay, Kiko? You've seemed so preoccupied the entire day.
No, I'm fine.
Okay, if you insist. Anyway, as I was saying, since we had a little termite problem a few weeks ago, we want to make sure that this tree is sturdy enough for this house.
So Lisa figured we should get an inspector to check out the tree and the actual tree house.
That's true, Nick. Since the treehouse will be going through a little checkup, we would have to meet somewhere else.
You know, Gina, Simon and I were talking, and we had the idea of camping in my backyard.
That's a great idea, Cedric. You didn't really explain what you had in mind.
Yeah, Nick, I have a tendency to say, hey, I have a great idea, and then not explain it right away.
Come on, just think. When was the last time we just relaxed and didn't rely so much on our toys and gadgets?
I feel like we did that just last week, with the power outage and all.
But that was a little different. This time we are choosing to unplug.
I can't wait for our little camping adventure. I can already think of a snack we can put together.
It would be fun. Nobody could bother us here in our backyard.
Okay, I'll take care of getting the tents. I have some old sheets we could use. But first, let's go ask your parents' permission, Cedric, and see if they can help us.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Do you know why people commonly shake hands to greet each other? Think about that, and we'll be back with an answer.
I'm back with a new recipe. It is something you can eat using your hands. I will need the help of my trusty machine, which will show you how many hands are necessary to make this wonderful pizza. If you watch carefully, you might discover a way to make it with only your hands and the hands of an adult. I'm sure, though, that you will need no help enjoying it once it's finished. For this pizza recipe, you will need tomato sauce, pizza dough, mozzarella cheese, cherry tomatoes, olives, basil, and olive oil. The first part of this recipe is to add the tomato sauce to the pizza dough. Both ingredients can be store-bought or homemade. If you don't have pizza dough handy, you can use flatbread or even pita bread. But if you don't have tomato sauce, please don't use ketchup. Now for my favorite part, add the mozzarella cheese. You can use shredded cheese or slice up fresh mozzarella pieces. For this next step, you might need the help of an adult. Cut the cherry tomatoes. You can use any other kind of tomato, but you will need the help of an adult when cutting the tomatoes. It wouldn't be a great pizza without basil. Make sure that the basil is fresh. And since basil leaves are herbs, feel free to splurge because they are good for you. Next, add the olive and olive oil. Now here's a fun fact. The olive branch is known as a sign of peace. This is probably because of the long time that it takes for the olive to be ready for harvest. When your pizza is ready, it's time to put it in the oven. Ask an adult to place the pizza on a pizza cooking sheet and place in a preheated oven of 350 degrees. Let your pizza bake for about 20 minutes or until the dough rises and is golden and the cheese is melted. Your pizza is ready. You can even get creative and make different patterns and designs for your pizza. But the most important part is to have fun and, of course, enjoy your pizza.
Do you know why people commonly shake hands to greet each other? It's because centuries ago, it was done to demonstrate that both people were not hiding weapons. So it is known today as a friendly greeting.
Hey, guys! Norman and I just got some new intel.
Really, Rico? What do you find out about those kids?
Tina, we overheard what those kids are doing. Turns out they're planning to go camping.
Camping? Who goes camping anymore? What is this? The 18th century? I know, right? So lame!
So they're camping. A big deal. We don't even know where they're camping, Rico.
Well then, let me finish, Laura. They're planning on camping in their backyard.
This is perfect for us. All we have to do is plan our pranks around where they will be.
This is all too easy. How'd you even spy on them without being seen?
Oh, I learned how to make this little device somewhere. I forgot where, Silas.
Very interesting concept, Rico, if I do say so myself. Whoever taught you how to do this is indeed very smart.
Yeah, whatever. Enough chit-chat. While you guys were just sitting back, Laura and I got us some supplies for our little plans to scare them.
That's right, Frederick. Get ready to see the scheme that will scare them silly. And here it is.
You're planning on scaring them with colorful craft supplies. Gee, why didn't I think of that?
Actually, Tina, I think it's very crafty of her.
Just you wait, Tina. It'll be completely scary by the time we're finished with them.
What's wrong, Kiko? You seem down today.
Well, Gina, I'll have to go to school tomorrow. It's not so fun anymore.
Why? What's the matter?
Well, it's just that a kid in my school is picking on me.
Have you talked to the teacher?
Not really.
Teachers are there not only to teach school stuff, but also to help you with things like this. Why haven't you told any of your teachers?
Because I'm scared it might be worse if I tell someone.
So what do you do about it?
Well, I try to avoid him, but he has a way of finding me.
Has he hurt you? Because if he has, you have to tell someone.
Well, he hasn't hurt me, but he did scare me.
Do you know who he is?
Well, he looks very familiar. Maybe it's because I've seen him so much.
So what exactly did he do at school?
Well, one day... Hey, loser, what are you playing with? Oh, a game. Want to play with it? I got it from an older cousin of my friend Gina's. I'm sorry. I didn't think I can read hieroglyphs. I didn't even know this game existed anymore. It's old. Hey, come here, Tina. Come and look at this.
What's that he's holding?
It's one of those really old games.
What, did his grandmother give it to him?
But I don't care it's old. I like it. But I don't care it's old. I like it. That's pathetic. Why don't you have a newer game that you can actually check the internet with? My parents don't want to buy it for me. Besides, I like to have it around.
Let's see how much you like it to not have it around.
Oh.
Well, Kiko, I think I have a story that might help you with your problem. Lisa, Cedric, will you help me tell the story?
Okay, hold on tight. We've got to get some things. We'll be right back.
Petra, a city in Jordan, is a city all carved in rock. Founded by the Nabateans in 312 BC, Petra was like a modern-day New York City. It was an important commercial center with an impressive water conduit system. At the turn of the 3rd century, Arab tribes took over the region and Petra lost its status as an important commercial city. The complete decline came in the year 551 when an earthquake destroyed the city. However, the city of Petra was forgotten for many years. It wasn't until 1812 when Swiss explorer Johann Ludwig Burckhardt once again discovered the ruins of this city and reintroduced the world to Petra. In July 2007, Petra was chosen as one of the new 7 wonders of the world.
There once was a rich king in a palace. The palace was as ornate as a Christmas tree. The palace had small doors and narrow windows, since the king did not like visitors or onlookers. He ate all day, had several feasts, and grew as plump as a watermelon. He was very greedy and had no friends. He had, however, many demands.
Shine my shoes.
He screamed to his servants.
Bring me truffles.
He demanded.
I want sweets from all over the world. Who put this single-digit bed sheets on my bed? I demand 800 count. I will not tolerate peasants' cloth.
One day, a pauper, as thin as a fishing rod, looking through the narrow window, called upon the king.
Your Majesty, I bother you with such an obsequious request that I may collect the mere crumbs that fall from your table, that it would fool my empty stomach.
Silence, peasant! What gain have I dealing with you? You have nothing to offer me. I will keep my crumbs. Leave before I destroy you. I don't need you, nor do I need anyone. I am a mighty ruler. Leave me.
As the pauper left, so did his many servants, hearing what the mean king had to say about them. The king, now alone, celebrated his solitude. But in celebrating, he realized how much he needs people. As he attempted to exit his palace to go down to the village, he got stuck on his narrow gate. The king yelled and yelled and yelled. The whole kingdom heard the king, but no one would help the person who once hurt their feelings. The kindly pauper, however, decided that the best way to win against a bully is to show them kindness. The pauper ran toward the echoing voice, climbed in through a narrow window, and helped the king from his embarrassing conundrum. Then the king gratefully said,
Never have I witnessed such kindness, or such a humongous spider.
Wait, I don't remember the king having a spider.
Hey, it's fake.
You guys, did you do this?
No. We were sitting here watching the entire time.
Now I'm confused. How did the pauper even help get the king out? I have so many unanswered questions. Was the spider part of the plot?
It's not funny to scare people with a fake spider.
But we didn't do it, Lisa.
So who did it?
I don't know, Gina.
but I would guess by the sound of running laughter that the weird-looking kids from the other block did this.
First they take my game, now they're ruining our camping day.
That is sad. I can't believe those kids would waste time just to make us feel upset.
Why do they keep picking on us? We're so likable.
That's hard to say. Maybe it's because they are older and think they can show power by acting mean. Some people think it's fun to provoke others.
When it's clearly not. It's very easy for them to pick on kids smaller than they are.
What are we going to do?
Violence only begets violence. Some bullies pick on kids just to see them cry or scream or just to make them feel bad. I wasn't able to finish the story, but the point remains. The best way to deal with adversity is to treat them with the compassion and respect that you would have liked to have been treated with.
And now it's time for Wonderful Inventors of Our Time. Brought to you by Wit Factory, providers of information of yesterday for tomorrow. What a pleasant time to live in. Here is a typical day in the 19th century. Now here is a modern day. Do you hear the racket disturbing the silence? Nowadays, we have phones that can help us in different time zones. This was not possible until many prominent inventors patented the first practical telephone. Among these many inventors are two famous individuals, Alexander Graham Bell and Elijah Gray. Both claim to have invented the telephone first. On your mark, get set, go! Both Alexander Graham Bell and Elijah Gray rushed to the patent office to claim the rights for the patent to the telephone. It was a close one, but even though they both tried hard, Alexander Graham Bell got the rights and is today famous for inventing the telephone. To this day, no one can say for sure who exactly was the first person to invent the telephone. However, it is no debate that the telephone is one of the most significant inventions of recent times, an invention that everyone can use. But have you ever lay awake at night, confused, puzzled, bewildered, even perplexed, wondering how a telephone works? It's simple. Your voice is captured on the mouthpiece and transformed into electric energy. This energy travels through cables and wires and is transformed into sound again by your telephone. So the next time you use a telephone, get annoyed by a phone ringing, or wait anxiously for a phone call, remember that the telephone lines, which are made up for a global network, are what still connect us. Even when using the most modern communication system, the internet. The preceding message was brought to you by... Wit, wonderful inventors of our time.
So, Simon, if you think we should be nice to the bullies, how are we going to approach them?
Yeah, I mean, Nick is right. Should we just go on over to their houses and face them head on?
You've seen what they've done to us, even without us doing anything to them in the first place. How do we know this will make it any better?
You never know, Cedric. I guess there's only one way to find out. We just need to find a way to show them that we are not hateful toward them.
I know. I think I might have a way of showing him just that. Maybe it'll work. I mean, it worked for the pauper in the story. What do I have to lose? It's not like I have an extra video game that they can take away.
That was so funny. Did you see the look on their faces?
I know, Frederick. Who'd have thought that crafty little pipe cleaners would scare them?
I told you, but you guys were doubting me. Looks like my little plan worked.
Well, I never doubted you for a second, Laura. But it's Rico we should thank. Without him, we never would have found out that they'd be camping.
Yeah, I guess.
You've been acting strange today, Rico. When we were pulling the prank on them, it's like you weren't even enjoying seeing them squirm.
Well, Norman, if he feels down, it's up to him to make himself feel better. There's nothing we can do. Just leave him alone.
Yeah, I guess that would be best, Silas.
Whatever, I have to go home anyway. Feel better, I guess.
Hey, I was looking for you. Yeah, well, you've come here to have an argument face to face. Then you better be ready. Well, I'm not here to have an argument with you. Yeah, you aren't? Well, if you want your game back, you're gonna have to come and get it. Well, I'm not here for that either. So you just came up here to tell me that I can keep the game. Hey, thanks. Bye. Well, I like the game, but it's not worth getting in a fight over it, especially when it can potentially hurt someone's feelings. Big deal. My friends hurt my feelings all the time, and you don't see me whimpering all alone in a corner. Well, it certainly looked that way when I saw you all alone here. If your friends hurt your feelings, then they're not your friends. My friends are just joking around. Besides, it's not up to them to make me feel better. It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal when they're the ones who are making you feel bad in the first place. Listen, the way you treated me really hurt me. We all get hurt. You just have to learn to live with it. Well, why do you not talk to your friends about things? They'll just make fun of me. There's no use. They really only care about themselves. I think you need to think about who you surround yourself with and how your actions affect those around you. All right, well, I can't promise you anything, but since you were nice to me, I'll give you your game back this one time. Oh, thanks. You know, if you just asked me to play with it, I would have let you borrow it. Really? Okay. Can I borrow your game? Because it's actually kind of a cool game. What? Why would I give you my game? Just kidding. Here you go.
Can you unscramble this word? The answer is coming soon.
The king of the Israelites, Saul, had become furious because David had been appointed to be the new king. Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! So Saul and his men went after David. After some days of searching, Saul decided to go into a cave. He then fell asleep on a rock. Inside the cave, David was hiding with his men. They encouraged David to kill his enemy, Saul. But David decided only to cut a piece of Saul's robe without him knowing and spare his life. But then David regretted even having cut a piece of the cape. The Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master. David told his men not to attack Saul, and they didn't. Saul then woke up and got out of the cave. Well, that was an uneventful nap. Saul got out of the cave, and David went after him, saying, "Some of my men told me to kill you, but I spared you. If you look, I have a piece of your cape in my hand. I cut it from your clothes, but did not strike you." "What? I hadn't even noticed. May the Lord reward you for what you did today. I know you will be king of Israel one day." And David went on to be king one day. The end.
So, were you able to unscramble the letters? Then here's the reveal. Peace.
Kiko, where were you?
We were worried about you, Kiko. Since you left so suddenly, you didn't give us a chance to ask you what you were going to do.
Well, thank you for thinking about me, guys, but I was fine. I talked it over with him and asked him for my game back.
So, I'm guessing by the look of your empty hands that your quest to recover your game didn't go quite as planned.
Not quite, Cedric. I let him borrow it.
Borrow it? What? Just a few minutes ago, he was throwing fake spiders at us. Now you're being nice to him?
Well, we have to be nice to them, Cedric. Where else will bullies learn how to be compassionate?
That's very true, Kiko. If we just retaliate against them, then we're just stooping to their level. Showing them kindness was the most sensible way of dealing with this.
We're lucky that you were able to talk some sense into the bully, because unfortunately, that's not all